Hi, my name is Sukhbir Singh.
And I'm Amrit.
This TV series is focused on the Punjabi community.
We'll be focusing on the issues that the Punjabi community faces in both India and Canada. We'll be discussing the barriers that the community has overcome over the past few years and how they continue to progress into society. Thank you for tuning in and enjoy the show.
1 a.m. I'm in the south side of my city. Steels Ave 905, got my homies with me. Big killer grim.
Hi, my name is Sukhbir Singh and I will be your host of Crossroads of Culture. Today we have a really special guest, SB. We're going to be looking at the art aspect of the culture of Punjabi people, and SB is one of the upcoming artists in the Punjabi community. What's up, man?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me.
No problem, man. So tell me something about yourself and your music. What makes your music more different from the other people in this community?
I feel like I could really rap.
Okay.
I'm one of the better rappers, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
I think that out of people in the community right now, I could really show people that there's different sides, there's different faces to people that could rap and put music out.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like people like us got a good sound for good music.
For
and
the
I want to
community,
make good
yeah.
music for the community.
With no effort, I'm a king. Don't be messing with some jesters. I'm shooting like Kyle Korver. When I rap like this, it's over. Obstacles, I'm jumping over. If you niggas hating still, I'm taking out the steel.
How long have you been making music for, specifically rap music?
It has been primarily rap music, only rap music really.
Mm-hmm.
I started rapping with one of my homies. You know Jeezy?
Yeah,
I'm
for sure.
rapping with my homie Jeezy. Shout out to Jeezy. But I've been rapping with Jeezy since the 10th grade. It was math class. Miss Lawrence's math class. Okay,
Yeah.
This guy, he sat next to me. He's like, yo, can you rap? And at the time, I was just, I was whatever. I wasn't really, I was like, yeah. Because this guy asked, I'm gonna rap. So, in my head, I just thought real quick and I just put some bars together that rhymed, and he was like, oh.
Like you got it, you have that,
and then he'd mess around, and then every day we'd link up and we'd spit some bars, and it just grew from there. We got better. And, I put some music out in my first year of college.
Oh, no way.
And, with a friend of mine named ATG.
Yeah.
And we got some tracks out, and
It's been
it
taking off
started
from there.
and then I just put a single out a couple of weeks ago.
No way, yeah.
And then, a week later we dropped on this 905, and
Yeah.
back to just I want to really make good music, and
I think that's a different aspect that a lot of people don't have. What you just mentioned is actually going to the community and helping them out and creating awareness and stuff.
Damn, listen, I'm reminiscing, inserting a different clip, and I'm killing beats like a murder crime. And she knows she a dime. She finna bust it, I'm finna crush it. It's never nothing. My homie got the trap back. We finna get it jumping. SB, I'm a monster. The money got.
You said your parents were from India, specifically Punjab, right?
yes, sir.
So your parents, how did they play in this role of you being a musician, and how they support you and stuff? Like, could you go into that?
My parents are pretty supportive,
Okay,
nonetheless.
that's good,
My dad is kind of the typical, wants the best for me, I guess.
Yeah.
And my mom is just my mom's too,
Yes.
cares for me, what it's like. But they're very supportive for the music. They're really like, if you're gonna do it, and just take it and go, let's see like
where it's gonna
go. Now there it is what it is. But
it's interesting because from people I've known that have made music from back, I'm talking about way back in the days where culture preferences were different. A lot of people, especially parents, were supportive of their kids in any type of art, right? Like whether it be you're a dancer, a musician, or whatever. I know a lot of parents was like, no, you have to be like a lawyer, doctor, kind of like, the three main really serious jobs, right? But now, as you just mentioned, times have changed and your parents are really supporting the arts. And I think that's such a accomplishment for the Punjabi community because where we came from and what we did, that wasn't really recognized. But now, it's parents are supportive, and I think that's great. Having support of your parents, like it's one of the main things that make. I think
it just gives you that much more confidence, right, in what you're doing.
Yeah.
Moving forward, it means that you could be more open about what you're really doing. You don't gotta be that more
You don't have to hide,
hidden.
right?
It's getting filled, I unload, it's hella real. Fuck you haters, how you feel? Royal in the cup, that's what I'm sipping. I touch keys like the ignition. I come through whipping fast, you niggas won't.
Growing up as a Punjabi kid, there was like certain things where you wouldn't really want to share with your parents, right? Because you have this whole stigmatization where like, oh no, I'm gonna get in trouble, or whatever the case may be. But you know, times have changed, and that's an accomplishment in the community of Punjabi people, not in just Toronto, but I think all over the world, right? Like going back to the arts in the state of Punjab in India, and how people, this is not even just males, there's actually female rappers in that state, and
Yeah.
they're well respected, right? And you know, you go back to India, and it's just such a, you hear from the media and the propaganda where it's all like, you know, the negative image around women and how they're not treated right? What do you think of that? Like, you know, because this is our home, and you know, this is what people are saying about our home. How do you feel about that?
I don't think it's right. Again, you shouldn't just disrespect females.
Exactly,
Because
right?
you know, we all came from one.
It's true. Yep. And you know, it's terrible because you know, you hear just horrific things happening there, and then you know, you hear such good things too. I think does that have like an impact on your music? Like, you know, of such negative things, and then again such positive things, but no real like middle contrast.
I think
like,
it really, it's like it sends my verses on a roller coaster ride. Really,
yeah, because you're like,
it's positivity and negativity, but again, it's what's the people are trying to make us believe it's going on. What's really going on is we don't know, right? But again, it played a role in my music, definitely, just because, you know, there's a lot of, if you listen to my verses, it's all over the place, really.
Yeah, like,
but that's what life is. You know what I'm saying?
I totally
like,
agree.
It's all over the place. It's not right.
Yeah,
what's going on over here?
I totally agree, and I can definitely relate to that because me myself, I'm a poet, right? Like I write poems or whatever, just in a certain, like a different type of aspect. And you're right, especially coming from the Punjabi community, you know, it's such a weird contrast of negative stuff and positive stuff. And even going to our homes, you have that emotion there, right? And you know, there'll be days where like everyone's just in a bad mood just because of what they heard that's going back home, right? And being young and not really, we're into our communities, but you know, we have our own things going on, so it's kind of hard, you know, going home and then reading people's emotions, especially your parents, and like why they're mad, right? And then, you know, a few days later, you're on the internet or whatever it may be, and you like, oh wow, like that happened, like, you know, it's crazy, right?
Ass like a spliff I couldn't pass. I wet your block up like a pool party. Pussy who want it? I let my gun talk.
Being a Punjabi artist, in the state of Punjab, just recently, a couple weeks ago, the government said that they were going to give a lot of money to the culture and arts aspect of the state. What do you think of that? Like, you know, there's in India and Punjab, there's a huge rap scene that's kind of growing out, and it's blowing up at the end of the day. What do you think of you know, your people from back home bringing this culture into like their home, and kind of, you know, it's such a universal language? Like, what do you feel?
I think it's
that?
crazy because again, they got their own culture over there, and they see what we got over here. So again, it goes back to being a crossroad of them wanting to feed off of what we have, and they want to, you know, give their take on it, to their little spin on what they grow up on and what they've been through or whatever the case may be, you know. So I think it's a good thing. I think it's well needed. It's good for, you know, it shows that there's a lot of people out there that want to dedicate themselves to music and the arts. So you know,
like I think that's a huge step, especially for India. It's such a place where you know, arts and culture are two different separate things, and now finally, especially a state like the state of Punjab is recognizing that, and they're like, you know what, we want people to come, and we want people to take part of these art practices, and I think, like SB said, it is pretty cool. This is your host Harjeev Singh, and on this week's episode we had a very special guest called SB. SB is an upcoming Toronto Punjabi rapper, and it's very interesting to talk to him about his rap music and the music back home in India and how they all intersect with each other.